Welcome to the Building Business Podcast, a podcast where we speak to the real people behind businesses. In each episode, we'll be having conversations with founders, leaders and entrepreneurs about the highs and lows of running businesses. How's things then?
Good, mate.
Good.
Good.
Busy?
Stressful. Busy, yeah. We just launched Reduce Admin now. So, the automation work that we've been doing that we spoke about previously, I've actually made it official now. So we got our first contract, and I thought...
What have you done? Established it as a business then?
Yeah, so I'm doing it as a sole trader at the minute.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to incorporate it until we've got either looking at getting our first employee on board, or we hit, I don't know, like 10 grand a month maybe, if we're putting a figure on it. So I'm just trying to keep it a bit tax effective, and that way I can put what I'm making now into a pension and then take this extra cash and have to use it to have a bit of fun.
Planning. That means he's getting old. Yeah. So what's the... So what you've picked up a retainer client?
Yeah, so what we do is we go into businesses and we look for opportunities where we can install either deterministic automations or more of like a fully fledged agentic AI solution throughout all the functions. So we'll look at admin, marketing, delivery, sales, and then even like customer service.
So you do a full audit on the business before you're suggesting.
Exactly, yeah. So what we do is we want to identify those opportunities rather than charging up front and being like, oh, we can't actually do anything. It's like we go to the directors with, right, here's the plan. We've identified these 3 opportunities. First one's going to save you 100 grand a year. Second one, you can save yourself 4 hours a week. And the third one, you're going to have your customer service response time go from 4 hours to 1 hour.
And are you going in and offering, so that's kind of like you're doing a bit of a survey in the business, aren't you?
Exactly,
are you doing that free of charge?
So currently we're doing it free of charge, yeah, but what we've just developed or in development of a solution where you can upload, say if you're an SME with 20 plus employees, it's unrealistic for us to have conversations with each one of them. But fortunately you can deploy voice agents now.
Yeah.
So we've just developed a solution where you can just upload the CSV of your employees' emails. We send out an email to them. They can click on a link, and we'll have a voice agent call them and run through
AI voice agent.
AI voice agent.
Terrifying.
Yeah. It's good though. It's good. 11 Labs have got really good voice agents.
Is that what you've done it with?
Yeah. So the actual software we're using is a mix between Make.com. We've built a custom application that does the back end, and then we're using Vappy for the actual integration of the voice agents.
What I find, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start.
And that's the problem.
I've told everyone today though, I've used Whisperflow.
I've used Whisperflow, yeah.
Isn't it
on
amazing?
Everything. Yeah, it's like the best thing ever.
So Mike, who was in with us before, basically told me that I'm wasting my money.
Oh, no.
Because Apple do it, but it's completely different. So
it's so different.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. Make sure we send him that clip.
Yeah. Well, it's like Apple. If you try and talk to Siri,
it's like dictation, isn't it? But
it's dictation, but
the quality of the dictation's poor.
Yeah, on Siri especially. But with Whisperflow, it doesn't just dictate; it fills in the gaps. Whereas Siri
and removes the
Exactly, yeah, and it puts it in formats as well.
Use it on your emails and stuff as well.
So I use it mainly for emails, but I use it so I spend a lot of time in between different LLMs. So I'm speaking to like Claude, I'm speaking to ChatGPT, and when you're typing.
On that note, then, why do you use both?
Because different LLMs have different strategic value. So if you look at models like Claude, if you're a programmer, that's been trained on more programming data, so you can use it to create better websites.
Chat and Claude.
Of course, yeah, because ChatGPT is great for marketing. So if you're
reasoning,
yeah, exactly. So if you want to make good copy, ChatGPT is going to be your better bet because it just speaks more natural, and it's just been around for a little bit longer. Whereas Claude's better for the more technical approach, so it speaks more of like my language than ChatGPT would.
So ChatGPT, I use it quite a bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
And you turn on the memory so it remembers.
Yeah.
So it knows like everything, and it builds up this picture of you.
Of course.
And it like I would say most decisions I make the decision, but then I reason it through ChatGPT and say, this is what I'm going to do. Give me the pros and cons, or ask me 5 critical questions to confirm my understanding and stuff like that. Really good. Not done anything on Claude.
Yeah.
However, one of my business partners has been using Claude and built websites, built apps.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell... And it looks incredible. And I was like, how the hell have you done that? And it's on my to-do list to actively have a go. Because, I'm yet to do it, but...
So Claude's got the tools in, so it's more than just an LLM. So you've got Cowork, which is basically an agent which can do work on your device. So I could text it right now and say, hey Claude, can you review my financial statements from 3 years ago and put it into a readable format for, I don't know, my accountant or whatever, and it'll do that. And it'll do, and yeah, exactly, yeah. And it'll do it for me while we're having this conversation. And then you've also got Claude Code, which is a coding specific agent. And it's more of a
but they're all accessible through the same Claude.
Yes, so you need to have a pro subscription to Claude. So Claude Code.
So I tried to build a website on Claude.
Yeah.
Without going pro.
Yeah.
And it didn't work, and I was like, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, because I think that's just where a lot of businesses or a lot of individuals will fall down. Is like, it's great for showing you initial designs and it's great for giving you like 80% of the way there, but if you don't know how then to register a domain or to put HTML into a workable format on there, it's the idea of doing something great, I suppose, whereas it's the final stretch where you need to have a bit of extra knowledge.
And is this where your new venture is pulling that together?
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, everyone can use the tech.
Of course can.
Just like everyone can film a podcast, but
it takes your expertise.
Someone with the expertise and the time, and the know-how to pull that together and deliver that as a polished product.
Exactly, and that's all I've been doing for the last 3 years. So my background's in automation engineering anyway, and software engineering. And for the last 3 years, when I started Cold Up Recovery, my other venture, I did it as AI first.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough where my whole business has been based around how does an AI tool fit here, how does an automation fit here. And I think that's just given me a different breadth of knowledge to the average business owner, where you can say they're excellent at delivering on their core business model, but they just don't have the time or the energy to look into a domain like AI, which is just so vast and varied.
Yeah.
And it's about hand-picking the tools.
It's terrifying how quick it's growing though, isn't it? And what is Claude Design?
Claude Design
is new, isn't it?
It's a designer tool, so it's similar to
Gemini.
In a way, yeah. So there's other Google. So you got Google
Nanobot.
Nano Banana is the image generation, but there's website design tool. I can't remember what the name is now, but it's just an LLM again. It's just agents, but they've been trained specifically to have really high quality design and designs that have been trained on that are like Google's Glass feature, or Apple Glass feature, and it's just another tool, but it just eats through tokens though. So if you're using Claude Design, unless you're a designer and you make your money through giving people great websites or great designs, there's no point using that over, let's say, Replit, which could build your website in 5 minutes and you spend 20p.
Do you find there's so much out there though in terms of tools?
Yeah.
You can almost get overwhelmed. So in theory, and treat me as a complete novice.
Yeah.
Is the competition or the difference between ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude the same as having a Samsung, an Apple, or another mobile phone, for example? Is it the same product just by a different tech company, or are they different products?
They are
with their own strengths.
They all have their own strengths, but yeah, it's 6 and 2 3 6 and 2
so
3s with
Claude,
most of them.
ChatGPT, Gemini is exactly the same as going to Asda, Tesco or Sainsbury's.
Yeah, they're each going to get different things on these. So again, alluding to the point we made before, Claude's better for coding, ChatGPT is going to be better for copy and writing, but it's also, the key difference is going to be how the end user uses it, isn't it? It's like you give two people a hammer, the person who's been, or you give a tradesperson a hammer, you give an office worker a hammer, the tradesperson is going to know how to do better things with that tool. And I think the key gap isn't finding the right tool, it's using the tool in a way which gives you deliverable business outcomes. So if you want to always make sure when you're looking at these tools that when you have an outcome-based solution.
Yeah. So obviously your new venture is targeting businesses.
Yeah.
Businesses of any size.
We're aiming for companies doing 1 to 8 million in revenue, and I've got at least 10 employees.
Okay.
And it's just,
why is that?
Anything below, I think you've got solo founders like myself who can get through most of it. They don't really need the hand holding. They've got the scrappiness still. Their head's all over the place anyway. And I think anything above, when you get to enterprise level, which I'm also familiar with because I've done the AI solutions for companies like Unilever, which are obviously a multinational £1 billion company. they just have too much restriction in terms of cybersecurity. So you can't actually get anything valuable done without first integrating with their team. And you're
red tape, isn't there?
It's red tape, and you're never going to implement the solution that's going to provide any actual outcomes. Whereas in the middle, it's where, okay, everyone's open to AI, but you've the founders or the business directors, they're too focused on growing the actual business.
Yeah.
And they need someone like me to come in and say, right, okay, here's your top 3 opportunities. We can implement it within.
And
3
so
weeks.
so the actual the skill is in you being outside of the business enough to see
Exactly,
that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
So look at all the whole processes end to end for the whole business and go, here's your bottlenecks, here's your quick wins. Yeah. And are you offering that on a project basis or retained basis?
So we start off with individual project basis. So we'll say,
to do that, it's X amount to deliver that project.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll come in.
And is there ongoing running costs of the software, or do the business take them themselves? So if it's subscription fees to X, Y, and Z,
so when we're
doing that through you.
So if we do it on a project basis, we would request that we set up the tools for you, and then the token cost would come from your business account. But then when we flip to the retainer model and we get into the custom applications, we would generally host that, and we would take the token cost, and we would just make sure that we've budgeted enough to take that into account on the retainer fee.
So I think you're hitting the right market, but I do think there's a massive market in that kind of solo entrepreneur to £1 million bracket for education more so, which is a great lead generator for you. That's because there's a lot of people who know what AI is, know that it's not going away, but have not got a clue where to start. Like I speak to people like myself who use it as much as possible and I'm trying to embrace it, and then I speak to people who aren't even touching it. And I genuinely believe for those that aren't even touching it, they're going to get left behind, even if they're business, even if they're a brickie. And they're, AI's not going to start laying bricks, but I think they still need to be adopting some kind of AI in their business, because
100%.
The other bricky 3 houses down the road, he might be using AI to do something. He's going to be able to fulfill things quicker.
Absolutely.
He's going to be more efficient. But how do we educate the uneducated business owner on how to best use AI and AI tools?
It's a very, very good question, and I've spent a lot of time with the tradies as well, because for my dad, he owns a landscaping firm, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs to him. I'm like, look, Dad, you don't need to use AI it's not going to lay bricks for you, you just said, but there's a bunch of donkey work before you're laying bricks. You need to outreach to clients, you need to find leads, you need to quote for them, you need to make sure, you need to provide aftercare, you need to provide FAQs.
Is he embracing it?
No. And I
think, and it's not an ignorance, that's probably the wrong word, but
I think you're right. I think ignorance
there's a reluctance in certain sectors where they think, I don't need to, and that's fine, and they might not need to.
It's like any technology, isn't there? There's always an apprehension to it, and I think, as Henry Ford famously said, if I had asked the people what they want, they would have said faster horses. And I think when you've got a technology which is such a step change, you just get the divide of the people who are scared of it and the people the embracers.
You've got to lean into it. You have to lean into it. It's just, for a lot of people, it's frightening.
It is, and I think I'm an AI optimist, but then you meet a lot of AI nihilists. So I think it's going to create more opportunity than it is going to.
What do you think it's going to do to jobs and employment?
I think it's going to change the landscape altogether.
Do you think there'll just be different jobs?
I think there'll be different jobs, but I do also think it's going to shake up things completely. And I think it's going to be a wealth transfer, not from poor to rich, like the news always says, but I think it's going to be a wealth transfer from white-collar workers to blue-collar workers. So if you've predominantly, like, if you look at accountants, lawyers, etc., that's just knowledge work, whereas now we have LLMs, infinite knowledge, access to it without bias, without prejudice. We can solve those problems, whereas we're not going to. It's unlikely we're going to create AI within the next few years, which is going to be able to wire my house or unclog my toilet when I need it, or so the data centers that they're going to have to build.
It almost plays into the hands of the trades.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone actually said it. I was chatting to them about it, and they said, if you go back to like when I was leaving school and college, it was like go to university, go and get a degree, go and get £9,000 a year's worth of debt, and so on and so forth. But now, if I'm speaking to my 14-year-old and he's saying, what should I do? I'm going to say, go and get a trade. Go and get a trade under your belt, because they're going to need plumbers, they're going to need electricians and stuff like that. And it's gone. It's almost what was once kind of like you went and got a trade if you weren't academic.
Yeah.
It's now like, no, go and get a trade.
Go and get a trade,
There's a massive shortage as well, and that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We still need to build houses.
And I think a scary place to be right now is if you're in university, like you're saying, doing one of these jobs that's going to be replaced by the time you finish your degree. And I think you're going to be really, I don't know, surprised when you come out. And
so we've obviously we've lent into it a lot as a business.
Yeah.
So we've always been very innovative in what we do. We set the business up, we innovated, we brought something new to market. It was successful. We've got an established business now that runs itself very well.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily in it day to day, which is fantastic, and it's very liberating. We're developing heavily on the tech side of things because we know that tech is going to drive it. Obviously, within that is AI, so it's AI-enabled tech. We're looking at kind of how we integrate AI into the tech without losing the personal aspect. I'm doing a lot of work on... So that's like a kind of a now to 2 year plan on where that'll be, what that looks like in 2 years' time. Fantastic. Tech-enabled logistics driving forward. I'm also doing a lot of looking into, okay, well, what does 5 to 10 years look like?
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of research, and I've met with a lot of people, and I've been to a lot of events where this kind of self-driving vehicle technology is getting talked about. Certainly within logistics, it's already happening. California, go and get in a taxi. There's no driver.
Yeah.
Very impressive. They're coming to London in September.
Yeah.
Very interested to see how that goes. There's something running at the NEC at the moment where they've got driverless buses, shuttle buses in and around the NEC. So they're already trying, they're already investing.
Yeah.
And as a business, we're trying to be on the peripheral of that. So we're kind of leading from within our sector. The interesting conversation about that is let's say magic wand, let's say, do you know what? We managed to automate all of our vehicle deliveries in the country. So that's anything from food deliveries, so your Uber Eats, taxis, van deliveries, haulage. How many drivers are suddenly in unemployment? That is a significant workforce.
I have thought about this, and it's a very good thought experiment. Because it's a very probabilistic thing to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure. But I don't know whether there's going to be a need for remote drivers. So I think when we get to the governance and the safety implications of driverless technology, one of the key layers of the AI or the EU AI Act is having human in loop intervention, and that's now just for business operations. So I think
is that just the EU directive?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's an actual EU AI regulation.
Yeah. So as not members of the European Union, that doesn't impact us right now?
Potentially not, no, but, it's
what they're... It won't affect what they're doing in Silicon Valley.
But I think they'll have especially with driverless technology, I think there's going to have to be a human loop where those drivers could be, albeit there's still going to be 20% of what there is now. And I don't know.
We're doing a lot with the guys at Coventry University, and one of the studies that they've pulled together basically looks into this and touches on the capacity of remote maintenance of the fleet, if you like, or monitoring of the self-driving fleet is like 5 to 1. So one operator can run 5 vans as opposed to 5 drivers running 5 vans. So yes, there's still a need, but there's still a significant drop.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, and you listen to kind of what the big wigs in tech are talking about, and they're talking about universal income and stuff. And I think that's the only way it can go. And I said to someone before, I was talking to Isaac about the other day, and he's like, "Oh, great! Does that mean like I don't have to work?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but like your standard of your quality of life, and you're not going to have disposable income. You're going to have enough to live."
Yeah, I think and that's a very...
And I think austerity then becomes...
what you have now is what you're going to have.
The rich and the poor divide?
100%, because who has anything? And I think I've said this, and this is why I'm so driven right now to start businesses and to generate wealth for my daughters, because there's going to be a point, because universal basic income is, I think it's inevitable. I think we're going to get there, and I think what you have at that moment in time is all you'll ever have, because how are you supposed to generate more?
I mean, it'll probably go up 1% every year.
It'll go up, yeah. You'll get a slight increase,
but you're not going on Aldi 4 times a year. You're not having all the nice things you like. You're not having meals out and stuff. You literally have enough to.
Or the world could look completely different to how it looks now, and we could be living in it. Like we're living obviously in a capitalist society. It could change into some hybrid between.
And it's,
between the models.
I read and listen to a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of business owners do, and that's something that was being discussed as well. Obviously,
the change, yeah.
The model that they have in China,
yeah,
kind of would support something like that.
Would, yeah.
As opposed to obviously in the West, it's a little bit more challenging.
But then you have control, don't you? Because then you've got the AI companies who can basically, on a whim, say,
and
right,
who's regulating that?
Who's going to regulate it? They're going to regulate themselves, aren't they? Because they're the only ones who know the technology as well.
Do you know what? It's a very kind of precarious time, and I think the thing with AI is it's the speed at which it's
terrifying.
This revolution that we're going through is happening faster than anything has happened before, which is great. Listen,
it's fantastic. By the way,
it's exciting. It's really exciting, but at the same time, for those that aren't leaning in and adopting it, it's I mean, I'm glad I am leaning in and adopting it, but there's a message to be sending to people, like, you've got to be on it, and I think that goes back to the work that you are doing, and the opportunity that you have to try and influence, and these one-man bands may not be the ideal client now, but if you influence them and they adopt it now, could they be the ideal client in 12, 18 months' time?
100%.
And grow through it.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and that's about, and one of the ways we did want to educate is starting a school platform. So because we're going to be doing all of these installations anyway and all of these automations anyway, I'm just going to screen record it and put together a course for people so they can watch and learn how I do it.
Do you know
and
what
try
you
and get ahead
for that? Speak to Matt George. He's got that training software.
He does, yeah. Matt's a good guy. Yeah, he did all that software for Coldhill, yeah.
That's basically where they've gone now,
down
that avenue. So that could be a good conversation.
And coming back to the AI jobs and what happens post, I don't know, inflection point where AI can do everything for us. I read an interesting study again, or interesting mind thought experiment where they think the way people work now is going to be completely different, and potentially you'll have your own AI. For example, you'll have, rather than you having an employees, let's say I go and hire a VA to do everything for me, or I hire a mechanic to work in my shop, it'll be a robot that you put to work for other people. So you'll train your robot, you'll maintain your robot, you'll maintain it, it's AI, and you put that to work, basically, which is where you generate your income. Again, where it comes to, I don't know, but I suppose if you haven't got that business or entrepreneurial mindset, you're never going to do that, are you? But I think that was an interesting topic where...
Do you know what's interesting? Like, how quick is this going to all come to fruition?
I think it's going to be like this. I think we'll just be going to about our day at a normal point, and then Anthropic will release a model which is too powerful, and then it's the... what's the word? There's a famous word for it, I can't remember.
I was speaking to someone who's in
Singularity,
HR.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the singularity.
I was speaking to someone who's in HR, and they were saying, obviously, they do a lot of recruitment and stuff, and they also do a lot of redundancies. And she was saying that she's noticing more and more cases where redundancies are happening because AI can replace 3 people.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, recruitment, your entry-level roles are going.
They're going, yeah.
Because what you would need an office admin to wants to, AI can pick up that slack. So there then becomes a skills gap and an experience gap. It sounds more doom and gloom than positive.
It does, but I think there's 2 ways of looking at it, and it seems to be, from what I've seen, worked with multiple companies on it now. There's companies who are super optimistic about AI, and they're trying to do more with what they have. Yeah. So rather than trying to cut employees, they're saying, right, looking at it from a revenue per employee model, if you can make me, I don't know, 100,000 a year now, if I give you the training and the tools, I can 10x that.
Efficient.
You can make me £1 million a year. So rather than cutting you, I'll just hire more, and then
we use a lot of automation, AI and stuff, certainly on a sales perspective in the business. Massive lead generator for us. We've looked into kind of like, obviously we've got the software we're building, that's got bots, that's doing stuff like that. We're looking at like smart AI to look at route optimization, driver allocation and stuff. And I've done a little bit of research into kind of like AI call answering, AI cold calling and stuff. And it's all there, and I could... If I wanted to spend the money and I could do it tomorrow, and it'd be fantastic, and it would allow me to scale the business without scaling the costs, which is fantastic. One of the biggest pieces of feedback we get as a business is that our people are great to deal with. They love working with our people.
As a customer, they are, yeah.
They love doing all that. So there's then me and Stephen talk about all the time, but there's then that kind of thing. Do you know what? Maybe we don't need to put our foot on the gas too much about automating everything, because if I remove my people from dealing with people,
well, you want them there. That's where exactly where you want them.
What is what is a value proposition? People like working with our people. Suddenly becomes, well, I'm speaking to a robot, so I might as well just go down the road and speak to a robot. And that's kind of where we were going. Yes, we want to automate this, this, and this, and now we're going. Hang on a minute. Maybe we don't want to automate that. Maybe there's other. It's still there, and at some point when a robot starts purchasing, I'm doing it. And let's keep that on the shelf there. But maybe there's other parts of the system that we can look to streamline and automate.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think that's one of the mistakes we made in Cold Hut. Was because we were an AI first business, we put AI in charge of our customer service from pretty much day one. But then you lose that boots on the ground feel, and people were getting frustrated because they were talking to an AI agent. It was solving the problems, but it was like, if we got to a point where it got into like circular reasoning, it wasn't getting resolved. So that's why we've brought Lennon into the business to be more of a face of it. But you're absolutely right. You don't want, especially where relationships are concerned, you don't want any AI anywhere near it, because people are becoming more and more aware of AI as well. And I think people are sort of now put off by businesses that use AI. So, for example,
it goes full circle, doesn't it?
It does go full circle. It's great at first because it's gimmicky and it's like, oh, look how much volume we can do. But then consumers become more aware of what's happening, and then I get turned off by websites I know have used AI. If I see an M-dash, your website's getting closed and not using it. I don't know.
So we set the business up 10 years ago, and business generation then was boots on the ground, knocking on doors. We drive somewhere, we go and like walk the whole of Trafford Park, meeting people, chatting to people. We'd then go pick up the phone, arrange a meeting, get in with them. And pre-COVID, online meetings weren't a thing. Zoom was not a thing, so we did all of this. I had sales staff that were in 1 day a week, 4 days a week they were out. Our business generation model now, I think my sales staff only go out when they have a meeting. At least 50% of the meetings are online. And it's flat and it's working for us. Our lead generation comes from LinkedIn automation, comes from marketing activities, email marketing and stuff. We still do cold calls, we still do phone calls and stuff. I believe it'll go full circle. I think in the next kind of 12 to 18 months, salespeople will be knocking doors again, and I think because people will crave that. Oh my god, human connection. See me. We've got a customer success team. Two of the girls in the office who just their only job is to make friends with our customers. Just go and see our customers. They're out every day of the week. But they're out. It's not cold. They're out going and sitting and talking, having coffees and learning more about the customers' businesses and stuff, which is fantastic. It's data collection for us. It pushes us where we want to go. Maybe that's where AI comes in and does the admin tasks, and I put more people out there, because it will. I think it will go boots on the ground again. I think it will go.
I agree.
People want this. Don't want a screen. Don't want a phone call. Don't want a message. I want to sit there, drink coffee, look in the whites of your eyes, and maybe it goes that way. Maybe the automation piece frees people to go and do what people do best.
And that's what it should be doing. And you're absolutely right. People need that human connection. And I think again, back to the trades point, people should be using AI to do the donkey work, not to do the human connection where you need a level of expertise as well, because not everyone's charismatic. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got a really good team with you, and they've been really great with me, and I think not everyone could do that role, especially not an AI. But where they can do it is like, you don't want your team reading 1,000 emails.
No.
If they've got 1,000 emails, you want, right, this one's important, it's from Nicky, he's having a bad experience because, and you can resolve it this way.
If the AI is smart enough to flag that and send that to someone to pick up the phone.
Exactly, and that's where
jump in the car,
AI should be used. And I think if you're new to AI, you can run into this pitfall and you can actually detriment your business, because you can be saying, right, oh my god, look at this AI agent that we can use for all our customer service and cold calling. If I get cold called by an AI, mate, that's getting put down. Your business is getting.
Do you reckon it'll get to a stage where you won't know it's AI though?
Yes, but then I think the trust layer people have falls down. So like, I don't trust anything already.
Exactly. So it gets to that stage and you're like, what do you believe?
Yeah. Again, it sounds really doom and gloom. I'm really optimistic about AI, but this sounds horrendous. I really am.
I'm just... listen.
I think you just need to stay up to date with the latest tools and stay up to date with, like, follow people.
How do you stay up to date?
You've got to follow people who are in the... So, like, the main thing's going to be, like, places like X, Discord, Reddit, for example. These are all places where you can get the latest news. I think one of the ways I get it is I have like RSS feeds automation, so I have like a text to my phone every morning from all these places, so I don't have to go through and read it. There's a bunch of podcasts out there, so listening to podcasts. So if you've got like an AI podcast, listen to it.
That's where I found out about Whisperflow.
Exactly. Which podcast?
Stephen Bartlett.
Stephen Bartlett, yeah. But it's just listening to podcasts. So I don't know, just talk about it openly as well. I think people are scared to talk about it because they don't understand it. But
Do you know what I think as well? It's like, it's still a buzzword.
It 100% is a buzzword, especially at enterprise as well.
Yeah. But I think people that don't talk about it, it's either lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Or fear.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I'm scared because my business will, be done away with it.
Yeah.
Not the case if you lean into it and you embrace it, because it should free you to do more of what you love and what your clients love.
Yeah. And I think that's the main thing, is producing value for your clients, because there's been a few apps, so like Claude, or Anthropic, just keep releasing new features, and the whole business is built around the feature that Anthropic have just released, but they're not losing any revenue because they've done such a good job of marketing, customer relations, and actually providing the value for the customer.
Yeah.
And I think one of the learnings, again, from being one of your meetings and also from the experience in Coldut, is like, that's all you need to do for your customers at the end of the day, is provide value at every step.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ethos that I'm going to take into this Reduce Admin, is where they come to my website, they're getting value. I'm going to give them some free tips. They book a call, it's instant. There's someone on the phone.
In terms of like keeping people up to date on AI though, like maybe emails. Maybe if you did like, here's a weekly summary of AI.
Yeah.
Try it.
Here's what you need to know. Here's how you can use it. Yeah.
But there's a lot out there, and you can't use it all either.
No, because it doesn't apply, and I think that's where you've got to. Because what AI tools you use in your logistics business is going to be completely different to the AI you're going to use with Rubber Islands, or what I'm using as as an automation engineer. And I think it's just about knowing the limitations as well.
Yeah.
Knowing limitations, knowing which way to do it, and what's the goal of it ultimately. It's to make money, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Where are you at with the Coldut stuff?
So we've scaled back Coldut a little bit.
Yeah.
To a point where basically my VA manages it all.
Right, okay.
So we've scaled it back a little bit. We operate a few of them ourselves, and then we're renting one out. And we're just getting it to a point where it can pay for itself and give me a little bit of a wage right now. Because the direction we want to go in is a bit more of a longer play. So I've told you that we give the fire service a sauna.
No.
So we've been working with the fire service basically, because one of the biggest problems with the fire service is like there's a 50% cancer rate. If you're a first line responder, there's like a 50% chance you're going to get some form of cancer.
Yeah.
And the reason is because you have these really toxic chemicals which stick in your body post carbonation event or fire. And we're running a study with them to see the effects infrared saunas have on that contamination. And a guy reached out 2 years ago, so it's like 2 years in the making, and we finally got one there about 3 months ago. And the study's been going on, and we're removing nearly 100% of the contaminants now, which basically means if we can get this...
So they're having to sauna after the shift?
Yeah, so they have the sauna, shower, sauna is the protocol that we've given them, but they can't use...
My mate used to work in the Granics in Widnes.
Granics?
Yeah, they used to it's a really horrendous thing where they used to burn all the dead animals.
Oh no.
That's why Widnes smells so bad.
Well, I didn't
it's
know
shut down now.
That's a bit morbid.
They basically incinerate animals from Chester Zoo and stuff. Yeah, or cattle or whatever.
Yeah.
And he used to do the same. So they used to shower, sauna, and then he'd go home and shower again. But that was I imagine it was something similar.
That was like a company policy.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
But a lot of that might have been because of the smell.
Yeah, true. Don't you think it's crazy how much? Again, we're a bit off topic, but it's just a thought that's coming to my head. How much innovation we've lost because companies don't share knowledge. But obviously, there's IP to make money. But I think where you say your mate's using, it's like you just come off the top of your head. It's like, well, if the fire service knew this, then potentially then we could have provided a solution a bit earlier. But I think
that comes back to the conversation about capitalism, though, as well.
It's 100%, and I'm not saying it's the right. I'm not saying I'm going to share all my secrets.
It's competitive,
and it is, and it should be competitive, because innovation also happens when you've got a financial incentive to do something better than your competitors, and that's where
if I develop something or I invent something that
give
sets
it away,
us apart, I'm probably not going to share that.
No,
but I would share it. I wouldn't share it within my sector.
Yeah.
But there'd be no harm in me sharing it with you.
No, of course, yeah.
You're not going to go and compete with me for deliveries.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a lesson I learned early on in entrepreneurship is like, you could give someone your idea, but they're not going to go and run with it. If I could tell you my next business venture, you're not going to start an AI company.
Do you know what I think? I think that's where that feeds into the networking side of things.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're so kind of in on the networking stuff, because it is, people, the reality is like 90% of people go to networking groups to generate business.
Yeah.
I don't. I go to networking groups to share knowledge.
Yeah.
And, for me, it's like, it's a bit of a forum where we sit there and we say, right, this is something we're doing in our business. Has anyone thought of that? Or I get a coffee with someone and they tell me something they've done in their business, and I try and analyse that and apply that to any of my businesses.
Yeah.
And I think that's where networking gets overlooked, in the sense that people, it's very transactional. I'm paying that. I've not had enough business from it.
Let's leave. Yeah.
What else have you had from it? There's knowledge share, there's relationships.
100%, yeah.
And people overlook that.
No.
But that's where I think certainly from a personal perspective and across our businesses, that's where we definitely see in the gain.
Yeah, 100%. And
the business is a byproduct. If you get a business from it, fantastic.
Yeah.
You've done really well. But if you don't, you've got to look at the non-tangible wins.
You've got to look at the second order effects, haven't you? It's like, for example, may not get some direct businesses from some of the networks, but I was introduced to Frank, who's a good mentor now.
Yeah.
And he's told me through some stuff where it's now I've made six-figure deals off that.
Intro,
it was you, yeah.
Get in.
I was going to say, I'm bigging you up on your own podcast there, but yeah. But it shows the power, though, and it shows the power of just go into it with an open mind. Not go in there like, oh, I want to take money out of his pocket. It's like, right, how can I help everyone?
Yeah.
How can I provide value?
You're not going there
first?
Sell. You've got to give.
Just open, be open, and I think...
And it does follow itself. So Cold Hut, self-sufficient,
yeah,
change the model slightly.
Yeah.
How long's that been going now?
We've been, as a business, for 3 years, operating for 2 years. So we actually launched on the same day my first daughter was born. Wow. So we had a horrendous
you didn't have enough on.
I know, well now, yeah. So like this is the thing with Cold Hut. It's an amazing business and I've loved the journey and it's been really eye-opening. I've learned limits for myself and I think it's just also been really difficult with my daughter being born on the first launch, and then so we scaled really quickly as well. We scaled too quickly, and then it's great for
the challenge with fast scale is cost, isn't it?
It's cost, and it's also things break at scale, but you don't know if you're a novice like I was.
Yeah.
You think, wow, 7 locations, 100 grand in a year, wow, amazing. But and then next year everything breaks.
Doing it slower, you learn your pitfalls. So we've done that ourselves. Obviously, like Quicklime was the baby for me. We learned a lot. We've probably failed more than we've succeeded, but like more recently, we've done the same. Yeah. Dead transparent with the team, and I said to them, "Listen, we fucked up. We made a mistake, and the reality is, I've probably made more mistakes than I have not. But you don't hear about them.
But the wins,
because the wins are worth it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I won't ever stop making mistakes.
No.
Because that means we're trying stuff.
Yeah.
I think the moment you stop making mistakes, you've given up.
Exactly.
But what I have done, obviously, we've carried it over to other businesses, so we're launching a clothing brand at the moment.
Yeah.
That's been a lot slower.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been intentionally slower because
100%.
Had we have dropped clothing products and gone viral overnight, it would have fell over.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, in anything you start, you're not going to get it right. And there's going to be hurdles and you're going to have to learn.
Yeah.
And you go viral day one, those hurdles cost you a lot of money and probably end you. Whereas the gradual kind of dipping toe in the water, building slowly, we've just launched our product for Warrington Rylands first team, full kit partner. We've spent the best part of probably 18 months developing that kit. Mm-hmm. So it's the right kit. If we'd have gone day one, it'd have been shit stitching, it'd have been shit material, shit sizing.
Yeah.
What we've got now is a quality product that goes toe to toe with anything else in the market. So, yes, it's been slow, and frustratingly, as having run other businesses that are bigger and successful, you're like, I want more. But at the same time, it's like, don't you know what? Let's not knock it.
Yeah.
Because slow and steady wins the race.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does. There's no such thing as an overnight success.
No. It's years of failure, isn't it? It's 10 years of failure and 5 years of
grind. People are
grind.
like, oh my God, look, he's smashing it. Yeah, you've not seen the years and years and years of graft that have gone into it and the sacrifices.
Everyone wants to be at the top of the hill, no one wants to climb. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the difference. I see it all the time in networking, people that kind of want to live that life.
Yeah.
That never happens. Trust me,
no.
I'm still here.
And I think it's, for me, you're absolutely right, and it's great advice. The thing is, you try and rush things. But it's the illusion of rushing.
Yeah.
It's because you actually end up doing things slower. because you break things, and it's like, oh, now I have to go back. Now I've got 10 customers I have to go speak to individually.
And it's the
now
damage
I need to
that
fix
you do in doing that, because
exactly. Some of it's unrepairable.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of disagree. We've had relationships with clients there where, for no fault of our own, they've told us they're never working with us again.
But then you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You've done well.
In every circumstance, they've always come back.
Yeah.
So
and do you not find then you've found any, I don't know, maybe it's a limiting belief of my own, a circumstance where you've chose the wrong door and you've not been able to come back through it? For example, I know Jeff Bezos alludes to this, where there's like decisions you can make and undo, but there's also business decisions you can make and not undo, for example.
Yeah, there is. I'm a great believer, like, there's a decision. Is anyone going to die? No. Okay, let's stop panicking.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
But then we also kind of, like, anything we do, it's like, right, worst case scenario, what's happened? And it might be my coping thing. I'm like, right, worst case scenario.
If you're alive, you're right.
The worst outcome of this is that. Let's plan for that. There is a 99% chance that's not going to happen.
But if we've got
we're ready.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
And if you go into any scenario knowing that, you go in with confidence and you know, it's like, it's the old analogy, aim there, land there, but you only really wanted to go there.
Exactly, yeah. It's a good point.
But yeah, failure is a massive part of learning.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I say, I addressed the team a few months ago, and I said, listen, we tried something, it didn't work, it's cost us money, it's affected our progress, it cost me money, but it's fine. And I think that instills with people, it's okay to make mistakes and fail, because it's part of learning.
It 100% is, and I think every failure is a mindset, really, isn't it? Every failure is a choice, because you can just not give up. Like for me, it's like Cold Duck could go bankrupt tomorrow, but I've still not failed because I've got 3-4 years of learning. I'm just going to apply it in my next business.
That's not going anywhere,
and then I'll go in my next business, and I'll go in my next business. If it takes me 20 years, it takes me 20 years. If it takes me 10,
do you know
great,
what? I spoke to someone who had exited their business.
Nice.
There's a common theme here. So in one of the networking organisation I'm involved with, we kind of work with a lot of kind of like high net worth businesses, turnover of like 5, 6, 7 million and above.
Yeah.
And you get to meet some really interesting people. And you always see, and we've had it for about 2 years or so now, and you always see people coming along who have exited a business. And I always sat there and I thought, why, if you've exited a business, are you turning up to these meetings? You don't need to be here. You've not got a business. What's going on? And when you actually dive into it and talk to them more, I would say 80% of them regret exiting their business on the basis that, what's getting you up in the morning?
What's the purpose?
I've met guys there that have multi-million pound sales. They've done their earn out. 3 years later, they've gone travelling for 3 months, and they're like, I need a business. Because I've lost my drive. What's getting me out of bed in the morning? You know, it's really interesting. So you talk about, it might take me 20 years, but that'll probably be the best 20 years.
I want 20 years of it, yeah. I want the 20 years.
We've had conversations, and I was speaking to someone about the other day at an event about exits. You know, everyone's got a price. That's the price I'll go at because it makes sense too.
Goes
it's the
up
best
as you grow.
thing for me. It's the best thing for my future. You know, that offer that you can't say no to. And you know, we've been approached in the logistics business. People throw those kind of numbers at you, and you sit there and you have the conversation, and you're like, well, would you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'd have to, but then you're like, what the hell am I going to do then?
What are you going to do, yeah?
Because I'll spend it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I'm back at square one.
Yeah.
And what? And it's that purpose, isn't it? And I think as long as you drive and your business is driving that purpose, you can tell, like, obviously the Cold Up stuff's been great, but the AI stuff's always been, Cold Up is AI.
I think that's where the experience has been leading me to. It's like, it took me a while to realise, actually the value isn't providing these automated wellness units to gyms, which has been great, it's been really fun, but I don't really get the same buzz or the same money for there as I do from the AI, and I think it's just took a while to just
the thing is,
let go of
you've
the
got a
Cold
business
Hub.
there where there's a lot more costs.
Yeah.
So your cost of scale is high.
Whereas
obviously the new venture, your cost is your time.
It's time, and it's like, well, just time and like 20 quid on tokens. It's nothing really. And I've got nothing to lose, and I know it, and I understand that. And
it's knowledge, and the reality is, obviously, going back to the conversation about the way AI is going and stuff. There is so many people, whether they know it or not, who need that knowledge.
Yeah.
If businesses aren't adopting any kind of AI now, they need to be, in my opinion.
They'll get eaten. Yeah.
Because it's not coming, it's here.
Yeah.
And there is businesses out there that aren't even, it's not on the radar.
I know.
But they're the people you need to be working with.
And that's exactly who we're...
But then there's probably the harder people to work with because they're not ready to adopt it.
No, and I think that's where the audit comes in. And that's why we had the conversation a while ago about charging for it or doing it for free. Because obviously it's 20 minutes to an hour of my time. Like, but I think just showing people... Can
you do them online, though?
We can do them online, yeah. We just do it through Zoom call. Or
it's a bit of a promotion, isn't it? Free audit.
It's a free audit.
Free AI audit, automation audit your business. Who's not saying yes to that?
Exactly. And the thing is, like, we're not bothered if we say, here's 3 tasks you need to do. If they go, great, all right, see you later. It's like, right, okay, they're going to fail. They're going to try and do it.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to
The key there as well is give them something for free. So give them the audit, but then also say, here is a tool.
100%.
You can take away for free. So they've got value.
I want them
that value will...
Yeah.
They'll talk about you.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. And I want them to think every touch point we have, I want it to think, wow, Nicky was alright there. Oh, wait, this reduced admin's good. This company's good. Oh, the VA rang me and checked if I was okay afterwards. Oh, we're not doing any business, but he's still sending me tips. And I just want to make sure people get that value. And I think the benefit of this business is going to be because it's such... Whereas Cold Hut was high volume, low cost, low ticket, this is going to be really high ticket but really low volume. So we might only work with 4 companies for a year, but that means I can get to know 4 companies and their team.
Like I said in the past, it was like case study in that as well. So we went in, we delivered this was the outcome, this is the increased efficiency. Track those data points, talk about that, because that data is what then converts into tangible sales.
We've done quite, and this is where like gimmicky but quite cool as well. We've done a thing where we aggregate all that data into one database. But we're going to put the live values on our website.
Right, okay.
So we're going to say, like, every time you come on it, you'll see it ticking up and up and up. We say 10,000 hours saved of director level time, £3 million saved in red savings, and then, like, 1 marriage saved because there was a lady who actually joked because we saved her that much time. She was like, you've just saved marriage because she was spending all night on admin.
She wasn't actually thanking you for it, though.
No, she's like, for God's sake, now I have to speak to my husband. But yeah, it's just like, I think... Especially at director level, and I think this is where directors of business like yourself, it's like time is your most valuable asset.
Yeah.
I could sell you the dream on like you're going to save £3 million, but I can sell you the reality of I'm going to save you 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
And that's worth more to a lot of people.
It's
and I think
around
that's
golf, innit?
It's around the golf, exactly. And I think that's where we're trying to hit. And if you look at the process of hiring, I think Dan Martell says it well. It's like you always hire admin first, so you want to replace your admin tasks first, then your marketing, then your delivery, then your marketing, sales, and then your leadership. And I think that's why we're focusing on the name Reduce Admin and the function of Reducing Admin, because it's step 1, and then in the future maybe we're like increase delivery, and then and so on. And I think anyone's going to make more profit and have more time by reducing the admin, and that's what we're focusing on.
Love it. Could talk about AI for hours.
I know.
It's boss. So to wrap up then, give me 3 must-have AI tools for, let's go for business owners. 3
business owners.
must be using AI tools right now.
As in director, your level?
Yeah.
100% Whisperflow. You've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Let's put that on the side actually, because I feel like we've already mentioned
cheating.
it.
I gave you that one.
You already gave me that. Claude
over ChatGPT.
Sure. Yeah, Claude over ChatGPT because and
what are they using Claude for?
So you can use Claude for research. You can use Claude for copy. I don't know, it's not the best thing, but you can use it for copy. You can use it for coding your websites. Yeah. You can use it for planning work ahead and actually doing that work. So say, for example, you've got your laptop open at home. You're like, oh, I forgot to do that report for XYZ. You can just type into Claude on your phone and you can use the dispatch function, which will then do it all on your laptop so you can create reports. And it's just the most powerful. Yeah. I found it just gives me more concise answers in a way that I understand and can action. And it's more action focused, whereas ChatGPT, I just find it just tries to... I don't like the way it talks to me. It's just like, that's a great question. I'm like, I have, that's what's annoying me. I'm like, I've told you 5 times, don't answer like this. And I think coming back to the technical side, on Claude, the context window is a lot higher as well, understanding models. Other than that, make.com.
Yeah.
So for your deterministic automations, make.com is going to be pretty powerful. So Make
is another version of Zapier.
It's like Zapier, yeah, but for me, I've just found it much easier to use.
Yeah.
But again, it might require a little bit of technical knowledge, so not number 1. And number 3, I'm trying to think. It's a good question. I want to make sure that I actually give the good answers here. I think Apollo. which you've been using, Apollo, because if you obviously to produce the sales, you need Apollo, and I think with those 3 tools, you can use Apollo to get your leads. You can use Make to integrate it with the agents that you can use the Claude models to do, and then you can automate the emails with it. And I think with those 3 tools, you've got enough there to for a pipeline, exactly, to build a system, to build flywheel, whatever you call it internally. You can build that, and you can also record as well. You can build dashboards on Claude, and Claude have just released a live artifact feature, which is basically just a dashboarding feature, but you can connect your tools directly. So, for example,
via API.
Make. You see, it's either API, but you've also got things called MCP as well, which Model Context Protocol, which allows it to talk to other businesses' API agents, AI agents.
Right. Okay.
So you can interact with there. So I use it, for example, Claude's got access to my Gmail, G Drive, Google Drive, and Stripe account. So I can just say, how much money did we make today? And it'll come up, blah, 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 you've made this much. Right, okay, can you put it in a report for me and save it to me, Google Drive? Yeah, okay. Can you make sure that you take the VAT off this and upload me invoices to that from Stripe to this location, and you can do all that. So it's just, there's a lot of powerful tools, but Claude, 100%, without a doubt, it's what I use every day.
Yeah.
Whisperflow, we've already talked about, you need that to interact with the tool. Make.com, Zapier, or even N8N, they're 3 of the same thing, but one of them will do. And then Apollo for your actual business leads. Whisperflow, we just put to the side. Put an asterisk next to that one.
We want sponsorship of all of them. No, mega.
I'll take Whisperflow as a sponsorship.
Boss, mate, well, all the best with the new venture. And obviously, I'll have loads of people to push your way anyway. So
yeah. We'll come on. We'll do an audit for you.
Yes, let's do it.
We'll do a free one.
Thanks for listening to the Building Business Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe and share it with someone else who you think might enjoy it too.